Hey guys, Miss Osuna here. Let's do a demo on skin tones. So I have two colors. One is lighter and one is darker. And I'm doing two colors for this. So on my far left side, I am starting on my shadow side. And this is skin color, of course, for legs. Uh-oh, I'm running out of ink. Hold on a sec. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm running out of ink. So what I'm going to do is throw this marker away and get another. So one quick moment. All right, so now I have my marker that has ink in it and it's similar in color. So I'm going down that shadow side, lightest marker first. This way you can darken always. Okay, so that was thigh to the knee, and then look, it's less pressure on the inside of our leg. So don't push too hard because that's the light source side. As I complete this first time around, I'm going to repeat the process, getting closer to the middle. As I do that, I'm going to darken that kneecap underneath the knee with a smile. Now it's going to be time to switch to my darker color, always starting on the shadow side. So now the paper is starting to get wet. Switch right away because this is that darker color. So switch to that lighter color so it can blend on top of that darker color. And let's do another section. So it's not the full leg, it's one section at a time. So my darker and very light pressure on the right side and underneath the kneecap. Very light pressure. And notice I didn't go all the way down the leg because I need to switch while it's still wet. Now I go back to the lighter color and I put it on top and it starts to thicken the line and blend. It's not going to blend totally, but it's not supposed to. It's just getting things started. So now as I continue down with this lighter color, it's time to move forward. My darker color again. Look, a tiny little bit of pressure. Look at how thin that is on the inside here. On that shadow side is darker and heavy. On that light source side, it's very thin and light. All right, lighter color on top now. Blend it. It's not gonna blend totally. Our goal is to take away as much white as we want in the middle, but you're taking it away gradually. Now we are simply going to grab our tin. So a metal tin or a plastic surface of some sort is all you need to spread some markers on. Same two markers I have. I'm going to spread the darker color onto my metal tin. And now I'm going to use that lighter color to pick up some of this from the tin and put it onto my sketch. So my lighter color goes in there, picks up some of that darker, and I start again on the shadow side, and that's how you start to get the gradient. And you just move toward the center a little bit at a time. Again, pick up more color. This is my lightest one. I'm picking up the darker color, starting on the shadow side, and I'm starting to get a blending effect. Notice it's not the full leg. It's not all the way down to the bottom. It's one little bit at a time. And once you can see the color running out, you just go on ahead and dip it in more. So now I'm doing it on my light source side, being careful to keep it much thinner. So barely touch, use the point, don't push too hard. And as I am going over and over, the layers are starting to blend together nicely and the middle of the leg has a nice shine. And then I'm just taking away more color. This is my light color here. More of that color in the middle, so it's not just bright white beaming, but it feels like a reflection of light. That is the process. So you just keep going back and forth into the color that's darker and you blend. That's that gradient. It helps you to get that medium tone. And I always make it a habit to go back over the darker sides because that pulls the color into that medium tone. Now moving to the next leg, starting on the shadow side, lightest color that you have. Make sure to do underneath that kneecap. And then when you're on the light source side, keep it thin, less pressure. And now make sure you go back to that left side where the light source is and make it thicker, because we want that difference. We're secretly telling the audience where the shadow is and where the light is. All right, my second color on the shadow side. Be very careful because you have legs overlapping here. So I'm just using the point. And you are simply going to follow along in the same way. The smile for the kneecap, and then underneath that knee diagonally. And on the light source side, it's very thin. Now make it thicker on the shadow side. So that is the beginnings here of our darker color on leg number 2. Now we're going to get our tin, and let's spread that darker color. Go back to the light color, dip it in the darker color, and make the gradient. So the gradient touches the darker and just barely to the right of it. So you take away some of that white in the middle, little bit at a time. Nice long strokes. Move your hand up and down. And we continue. Once again, you're going to take away as much as you choose. The idea is not to have a big white stripe in the middle. You just want the feeling of light reflected in the center of her leg. Again, get some more color onto that light one and blend that gradient to your own preferred choice. So blend as much as you feel you need to. You can blend on any type of a shiny, slick surface. Plastic works well. Just repeat this same process. And as you bring it into the middle, closer little by little, you can start to see it come to life. I ran out of color there, so I'm just putting more in, and I'm going to continue the process. So this demo is with 2 markers to get a skin tone. And these 2 particular markers that I use were not even from the same company. One was from a company called Blick, B-L-I-C-K, and it was called Camel. And that was my lighter one. The other one was from a company called Copic, and that was my darker one, and it was called Sand E33. Continue this process until you have the desired depth that you personally want. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Happy sketching!